I like to average 100 pounds, but we have bad years, and so you got to expect the worst. I think over a 10-year period, I can easily average 80 pounds.
Sunday morning, clearing out the wax cappings that I should have cleaned out 3 months ago, and listening to Cayman. First bit of sunshine, we're cooking.
So 300 colonies, that's 24,000 pounds of honey. Now, I've never produced...
So hello everybody. I'm on the coffee with my Bob Binney mug, and I'm on to melting some wax down. You can hear that chuntling away. Just changed the bucket over. And we were going to cut the grass just now because the sun was coming out and everything, and we might just get that one cut where you go, brilliant, we can do that. And guess what? It's just started pouring the rain. So have to forget that for now. But I've got a few things I'm doing. I'm just getting over being away at the Hive Life conference. I think it took more out of me than I expected, maybe because I just dove headlong into it. I have to say that I had a few days back home. The jet lag has been really hard on me, and also I've got a bit of a bug. But it's not COVID. I got a test kit, and it doesn't seem to be that. I've just been really tired, and man, have I slept like 12 hours each night, and then in the day as well, I have to kind of lie on my bed and I'm out like a light. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the after effect of being away and having such an amazing time. I think it took me probably a week to prepare, including getting my presentations ready, and it took me obviously a lot out of me when I was there, and the comeback as well. It's just like, whew, I'm just kind of back to it now. I've been getting all this cleared at last. I'll go through that heater in a minute I've just bought. That's a really nice piece of kit that's going to go so well in the new building. But first thing I'm going to do is show you this honey that I'm melting down. I'm going to put my mic here, and I hope it will stay pretty good, but it's probably going to be a bit odd. So anyway, I'm just melting down some wax, some honey here, and what I've done is I talked about insulation. So I've insulated this whole drum. So these are the drums I use. They're the 300 kilo drums that are really good for me, because that's how I've always worked with drums. And I've got honey here, honey there. I've actually got some honey outside under cover. You can just see through there, but very soon that will be in my new building. But that's kind of what I go with at the moment. Now, whether you use honey in drums or honey in buckets, that's just your choice. You have to find something that works for you. A lot of people use buckets this size for their honey, and that works fine for them. For me, I prefer using barrels, so I can quickly get it into a barrel, and then I can quickly get it out of a barrel if I want to sell half a barrel or a barrel. And the way I can do that is just with this Apitherm. Okay, it's a heating element that I've got inside the barrel. It's sunk all the way down already, and it's decrystallized all that really hard spring honey that I have. Now, it's not that it's hard, it just sets like that. It crystallizes really quickly. So I'll show you in here, and basically you'll see this crust on the top that I've just broken up, but that's going to rise. I broke it up because there was quite a bit of honey still in it when I first started this off, and now that's been done, I'll just lift this up and you can see that it's decrystallized all the way, and that honey is ready now. Whoa, the honey is ready now I'll let this settle, you see, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to skim off all that top crust, and that's like a mixture of wax and a tiny bit of honey, but then that will leave all that barrel clean, and I actually bucket it out into these size buckets, and from then it goes into my honey maturator, we call it, or settling tank, and then I'll put it into pots. And I do this for my clients. I've got a client who used to have it I used to collect honey to him or deliver to him in these size buckets, but now what I do is I actually put it into pots for him, and when I get my bottling machine up and running properly, I'll be doing that with the bottling machine, because the whole thing will connect up well. I mean, this is my creamer I've just bought. I don't know if I showed you this. This is the creamer I've just bought from Carl Fritz.
And the whole idea is that I can transform my honey from here. I can transform this rapeseed honey by putting it in here and cream it. And you might have seen on the Hive Life video I did that there's a lot of people going into creaming honey, and it's a fantastic way of making an already good product even better. So this is a 300 kilo creamer. It's got a timer up there with the motor. I won't want to lose that. But basically this is all single phase. And when I finish with it, around the back we have a immersion heater that can warm this double-walled jacket. So this is something I'm going to show you when I've got it all up and running. But the whole idea is a whole barrel or thereabouts a whole barrel can go into the machine. And I can cream it and then I can pump it from there straight into the machine via a pump into my bottling machine. And that's going to transform the way I have to handle my honeys. The good thing is I'll be able to make the most of a product that otherwise wouldn't have that value. But I'm going to be giving it value, which is really good with the creamer. So I'm really excited about that, because what I've looked at is I've looked at my production and I found a way that I can utilize what I've got, because we're always going to have rapeseed or honey that's got a high percentage of canola in it that crystallizes quickly. So why not make it into a creamed honey? Because what I did was, while I was away, I also met people who cream honey, and then it's given me the ideas of doing different things with honey, like, you know, adding nice things to it, like cinnamon, like maybe turmeric, like garlic, all these really nice separate natural elements that you can add into a honey to make it a little bit different, and that's what it's all about. I did get to grab a nice jar of this creamed honey, simple creamed honey from Byron Ferris, a guy who appeared in my video. Byron's a really nice guy. He's working with Bob Binney and doing some honey creaming, and he shows this in the video, the same batch. So I'll be cherishing that. I've tried it already, delicious. I also got given loads of other honeys from people while I was away. A really nice bottle of honey from Mary and Josh. They are a really nice couple who have got probably 100 hives, maybe more, and they are, forget where they are actually, but they're not too far away. They're in North Carolina in America. So saying that, I mean, I don't want to go on about Hive Life because I do, because I could yap about it for hours, but when you meet so many amazing people that you've been in contact with for a long time before, it's just kind of overwhelming. And I think that's why it's taken me so long to kind of recover from the trip, because I enjoyed it so much. It was the kind of trip of a lifetime, to be honest, that I don't think I'll ever appreciate. I hope I get to go back one day. We'll have to see what Cayman wants to do for next year. That's another thing we've got to work out. He's got to work out all his logistics, how he's going to do stuff, what he's going to do, how he's going to do it, when he's going to do it. He may make the conference even bigger. He may even change the venue, but I think we'll have to just wait and have a bit of patience to see what's going to happen. So getting back to this honey that I'm doing, so I'm going to basically cover this back over for now. Let this cap rise up again, because there was a little bit too much honey in the top at the start. This will just continue warming, and it's been warmed really gently. That keeps the heat in. I'm saving heat on that. Even though I've got to put the heat in, I don't lose a lot of heat because it's so well insulated, the whole thing around it. And I'm actually going to get a belt, I'm going to get a band made up so I can actually use like a Velcro strap. That's another thing I've got to sort out. But for now it works, and it means that I can melt down a barrel of honey that I was trying to tell you about before, and that's how I do my operation. People have asked me what I use, and I basically use barrels. There's another name they call them in America, but that's generally what I use to put my honey into, because I just find if you've got set up to move barrels, you can be really efficient really quickly. Just a pallet truck and a pallet is all you need to put 2 barrels on. You know, it's a no-brainer to me. And that's what I'll be doing as soon as my building's up. So the latest on the building is it's all as it was when I was away. This week the guys will probably contact me because they're probably going to start a week Monday or later that week. So it's all pretty good. Suddenly the sun's come out. I shouldn't really show you that this is what you get. See that nice bee poo? That's another thing I've got to do now, is clean all my windows, and we're going to get the veranda back to how it should be. I managed to bring frames in that are outside that shouldn't have been outside. They're all drying out now. It's just taken me a while to realise kind of how much effect having an extraction room in my conservatory has had on the house. I mean, there's a passage of propolis that goes from there into the kitchen that I've had to kind of keep moving back. I'm really careful about the way I do things, but at the end of the day, wherever you are with beekeeping, that's why having a separate bee unit is totally brilliant, because you keep yourself away from it and you leave most of your bee stuff there. You have a place that is for bees, and then you come back and you have a house hopefully afterwards. And I really appreciate what it's like to have to do the two in the same place, and it certainly is not easy. My throat is still sore actually, but I've got some of that squirty stuff you squirt down your throat and it's absolutely rancid, but it helps. But other than that, all is good. I've also had that kind of focus now, and I've been away to the conference because it's all done now and finished. It really is, I've got to really get focused now on the year ahead, because as well as doing the building and trying to move into there, the minute the roof's on the place, I've got like so much work to do here. I've got quite a big garden and there's a lot of work of cutting back to do. All that kind of stuff has got to be worked out, sorted out, and just timetabled into everything, because very, very soon it's, you know, we're going to be into February, then it's March, and before you know it, we're back into bees again. So I'm lucky enough to be going away again on the 24th of February, which is a Friday. I'm flying to Paris from Rennes, Charles de Gaulle, Paris. And then from there, I'm flying out to Birmingham in the UK, because basically it's the easiest and quickest way to get there. If I took the boat, I'd have to go on the overnight ferry and then take the car with me. It just means logistically it's a lot. It's actually probably cheaper to fly, to be honest, than it is to take the car. So I'm going to go there because on the Saturday all day, there is the Beekeeping Show. And if you want to look up on the internet, beekeepingshow.co.uk, you'll find it, or just Google it up. It's an all-day event. I'm going to be doing a bit of a Q&A at the end of it with Gwynedd Griffith Honey, that's Griff Rees, and Black Mountain Honey. We're going to be the three of us doing a little bit of a Q&A. I don't think it's very intense. I just think it's a friendly advice thing that if people want to ask any questions they can, then we'll just answer it to the best we can. We certainly don't know all the answers, but it's been really nice to meet a load of people there who follow us on YouTube, and it's another event that I'm really kind of honoured to be part of, because it'll be the only event in the UK really next year. So that is something I'm really looking forward to, and the great thing is it'll be a short trip. I won't be away too long, because I think around then I've got about 6 meetings to go to for me, for my family, for my sons, and it's the start of the beekeeping season. And you know, we're going to get to that point soon where I'm going to say no more talks, no more nothing, because we've just got to focus on what's important. That's getting my bees back up and running. I have got a lot of losses. I'm not going to hide that from you guys. I'll show you that. The Asian hornet seems to have taken a big hit on my colonies, because a lot of them went into the autumn too small. We're not through the winter yet by any means. And anyone who says on any media, oh, I'm lucky my bees have survived the winter, well, good luck to you. If you think your bees have survived the winter already, then tell me that in 3 months, because we can't really be sure as beekeepers that our bees have survived the winter until we get into the end of March, early April, when the flow starts. Then you can say they've survived. I've seen this so many times in my career where people have said that, and then they're kind of saying, you know, 3 months later, oh, actually I lost 6 of the 12 colonies because they were dwindlers, or they just didn't make it, or the queen was on the way out, or they weren't ever that good over the winter. Just kind of, that's been my advice, is I'm really pleased for you, but just hang in there, because it's not over yet. We could have we often don't get snow till February, March, and that can be the kind of the final sword of Damocles that's holding over us, that just finishes those weak colonies off. And I'm not being negative. Let's be positive, obviously. Let's make sure that we have that right attitude towards our bees, but this is beekeeping for you, and you've got to be realistic, is that not all your colonies will survive, and I'm going to take a big hit. But I'm taking a big hit because of Asian hornet, because of varroa, and because I've sacrificed a lot of time when I should have been in my apiaries doing my building. But if you look at it as part of beekeeping, and that eventually I'll be bringing my bees into a better condition this year, and whatever I've got will be well looked after because I've got more room and time to concentrate on them. That's my kind of ethos, is that very soon I'll have better colonies because I'll be in a better working environment and I'll be able to manage them better. I just had to make that sacrifice. It's an ongoing thing, really. We're always building, we're always trying to get our bees to the best level, but maintaining them at a level. I mean, this spring all my bees are fantastic, and ever since then I haven't been able to maintain them, or I have struggled to maintain them. I hold my hands up, I've struggled to maintain them as well as I should have done. But I'm aware of it, and I'm totally resolved to bring them back up to the standard they should be and to implement new things, which is what we have to do in beekeeping. So I'm going to get back. My wax is steaming away there nicely. So I've just emptied the second bucket. I lost a bit on the floor as usual because I'm yapping and trying to do my video and not concentrating. But anyway, whatever you're doing, have a good week, and we'll be back in touch because I've got lots of good things coming up. I'm hoping I'll have some more news on the building very soon. But everything is kind of going well, and I'm now very optimistic about the season ahead. I was just going to say the weather has just been absolutely terrible here. We've had just days and days and days of drizzle, and going away when I did has given me that lift. So now I'm coming back kind of recharged and ready to go for the next thing. So let's just now put that into actions and get on with the work. And now I've got to get my head down and focus. So have a good week, take care, speak to you again soon. Bye for now.